good. So good. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Blackwell, and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of my holiday romance recommendations. I didn't used to be a huge holiday romance reader, but in the recent years I've become much more into them. And I think that has to do with the number of fantasy, alien, paranormal, and monster romance books that have been really coming out in the last couple of years. I've had so many fun reads, and it's really broadened my idea of what a holiday romance can be. Okay, I had to put that down because otherwise I was just gonna keep drinking it on camera. I made this mocha with whipped cream and it's just so freaking good. So all these books are holiday romances, which means they take place like in December. They have to do with Christmas, New Year's, winter solstice, Hanukkah, or like made up holidays. So all holiday themed, and most of them are speculative as opposed to contemporary. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you do so. All of my social media is linked down below in the description, including my Goodreads, Instagram, Patreon, and the link to the Hideaway Discord. Make sure to comment down below and let me know your recommendations for a holiday romance because I still have so many more to read. I have plenty more on my TBR. If you want to know some of the winter romances on my TBR, check out my winter TBR. I'll have that linked up here in the cards and down below in the description. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So the first book I want to recommend is Hunted in Holly. This book is by Liam Bell, and this is a dark fantasy romance with a holiday twist because our heroine is Mother Earth and our hero is Santa Claus. So our heroine has just experienced a tragedy. Her whole family has been slaughtered, and she is sure that this is Saint Nicholas who has done the deed, so she is traveling to the North Pole and she is going to seek revenge on Saint Nicholas. So the book starts out with her trudging through the snow and trying to sneak into the North Pole. It ends up being a captive. She is quickly outsmarted by Santa Claus. There's some trials, some chasing, all sorts of super fun, spicy time. This is a dark fantasy romance, so just know that going in. We have a morally gray hero and morally gray heroine. This is a novella. I think it's around the 100-page length, so it's perfect for like a one-sit read. You can just sit down and enjoy a cup of hot cocoa and read a dark, smutty fantasy Christmas romance, and I think that's fun. I want to see more of those. Like, I want to see more holiday Christmas kind of romances that are like dark fantasy romance. If you have any recommendations for that, let me know. Usually you see like the cozy side of things, which I really love cozy fantasy romance and cozy holiday romance, don't get me wrong, but usually you see that. So it's kind of fun to see like a dark side of things. Next, let's talk about another Santa romance, and this is called Alchemy's Two Lovers. This is by Jennifer Chipman. I've read one other book by Jennifer Chipman, and it was a Halloween themed romance, and this one is about our heroine who is an elf, but she does not know she's an elf, and our hero who is the son of Santa Claus. He shows up to the wintry North Pole style amusement park that our heroine works at. She's a manager there and shows up there as kind of acting as an executive for the people who own the theme park, but he actually is because he's the son of Santa Claus and Santa Claus owns the theme park, but he is just trying to get a grasp on how everything is running, see if there's anything that could be improved, that kind of thing. So when he is there, he meets the heroine. He realizes there's something different about her, and he takes her back to the North Pole, and a romance ensues from there. It is a really, really sweet romance, very lighthearted, very spicy. Like, Jennifer Chipman writes very cozy, all vibes, no plot, spicy books. So you have to be ready to know that like not much is actually going to happen. It's just going to be a lot of cozy scenes, a lot of sweetness, and also a whole ton of spice. And that's just kind of how she rolls. I think that's why she's really perfect for seasonal reads, because you're going into them for the vibes of the season. So I think she does that very well. She puts in as much seasonal vibes in there as possible. Our couple is making gingerbread houses, they're baking cookies, they're going ice skating, they are doing the Christmas markets, they're doing all of the Christmassy holiday things, and she really makes sure to put that all in there. So it is fully all vibes, and I really love that, and I highly recommend if that's the kind of book you're looking for. Next, we have another fantasy-ish style romance. This is The Gargoyle and the Grinch by Lilith Stone. This is a monster cozy romance, and it is set in Motham City, which is this city created by Lilith Stone. So there's multiple other books in this series that take place in this city. Each one follows a different couple. This one, we have our heroine who is a housekeeper, and our hero who is the head of the security agency that watches over Motham City. And he is also a veteran who has PTSD. He is a Grinch who hates Christmas. He just hates it so much. Our heroine, on the other hand, doesn't really hate Christmas. She just doesn't really love it very much. She grew up as an orphan, and she is trying to save up money to open up a community center for orphans to give them somewhere where they can really feel like home, because that's something that she never had. So she's kind of like the sunshine. He's grumpy, and this was really sweet. I loved the whole Grinch retelling aspect, and I love how our hero's heart just melted for the heroine. That was so freaking sweet. I liked all the Christmassy activities they did. The fact that in the very beginning of the book, he gets a Christmas tree for her, which was very unexpected, but he realized that he really wanted to change for her. And it was just so, so sweet. I loved it. I'm not sure that I fully connected with the hero as much as I wanted to. There were things at times that kind of irked me about him, to be honest, but I honestly don't think that's something that's going to affect most readers. I think that's more of a personal thing. Okay, next let's talk about Honey Phillips. I have two books that I really want to recommend by her. They're both alien holiday romances. The first one is Cinta, and this is part of a series where a bunch of different authors write a bunch of different books like in the series, and I think this came out a year or two ago. And in this one, our alien has crash landed on Earth while he's been doing some like recon, trying to figure out if Earth is ready to join this coalition of planets. So he's crash landed and he's having to fix his spacecraft. Our heroine is going to this secluded cabin by herself. I think she's gone through like a breakup recently. She just wants some time alone, so she's going to spend the holidays alone. And she gets there and she realizes she's way over her head. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's not really ready to take care of herself in the middle of a snowstorm, like stranded, trying to figure things out. Our alien sees her and immediately kind of feels like a bond click in place, and he wants to protect her, so he starts bringing her gifts, hence Cinta. So she keeps opening up surprise gifts on her doorstep, like a raw carcass that he hunted for her, but she doesn't really know what to do with, but he's trying to help her, feed her, keep her warm, that kind of thing. And it's really cute, really sweet, spicy, a fun time. Honey Phillips is just so fun to read, especially in the holiday season. And then the next one is Rudy. This one is my most recent read from Honey Phillips, and it's probably my favorite Honey Phillips I've ever read. This is a Rudolph retelling, and this was released this year as part of another series of books by a bunch of different authors. And this one, like I said, it's a Rudolph retelling, and we have our heroine who has just escaped Earth with like 3 million other humans, and they're being sent to these different places because they are refugees. She is assigned to this little town, and the aliens there don't know what to do with her. I think the planet is called like Norpole, which is really cute. But the aliens there are going through an energy crisis, and they really don't want to have another person to try to feed and keep warm. So they send her over to Rudy, who is the town outcast, because he has glowing antlers. So his antlers light up along with his emotions, depending on what he's feeling at the time. He takes her in, and the two both have a past of being outcasts, and they really bond over that. And I really like how this book stays true to the Rudolph plotline. It's like a true Rudolph retelling, and she does it in such a unique and interesting way. It's just so unique the way she makes an alien romance fit into the Rudolph plotline. It clicks, it makes sense, and it's really cute. I love the way she did it. I love the growth of the characters in this, and it just feels so heartwarming and sweet. And because of also like all of the Rudolph themed action that is going on, it just feels so extra heartwarming. I used to grow up watching Rudolph every year, and I love Rudolph, so this was just extra special for me. I adored it. I really think this is like the Rudolph retelling I never knew I needed, and I think you guys need it too. Like, please, please, if you don't pick up any book on this list, just pick up that one, okay? Just pick it up. Next I have Mistletoe by Kimberly Lemming, and this is a novella in her whole series that is That Time I Got, like there's like That Time I Got Drunk and Kissed a Demon, That Time I Got Drunk and Eated a Love Potion at a Werewolf. It's a novella from that series. I love it. There's like a talking sword. There's really not much to it. It's quite short, but it has Kimberly Lemming's quintessential adventure, cozy, and high spice. Like, it's super spicy, super cute. There's an adventure, and I do love the cover. It is just probably one of my favorite covers of a fantasy romance book. I have it right here, and it was like one of the only ones I was able to get my handle on because she did end up getting picked up. So some of her books got new covers. So I was able to get my hands on this one though, because I don't think that this was actually picked up. I think this might have stayed self-pub. But this one's basically fake dating with this really cool fox creature who is the hero, and then the heroine is, I think, a human. And they have to fake date for this winter festival, and if she does so, the fox will then remove this powerful curse that's been put on her family. So they need to work together so that they can get something out of each other. I love that kind of fake dating trope. And it's just so much fun. Definitely check it out. It's super short, super fun, super cute. Okay, so next is kind of another dark fantasy romance, okay? This is by C.M. Nascasto, who really usually writes more cozy stuff, but this one is a bind-up of 3 short stories, and it's called There Arose Such a Clatter, Tales from the Naughty List. This is 3 short stories all bound up together, and I think it is on KU, and they are all Krampus retellings. They're all very spicy, extremely spicy, like all spice. But not just that, they're full of triggers and the spice is quite dark. So just know that going in. A lot of the tropes are very like BDSM tropes. There's some CNC and dubcon and just some extreme things going on in this. Like C.M. Nascasto went all out with this one and did some things that really shocked me. Shocked me. That's saying something right there. Just go into this with open eyes and check the trigger warnings, please. That being said, I mean, I thought this was wonderful. I thought this was great. I thought this was something that I hadn't seen before, that's for sure. If you're looking for like a super dark fantasy romance, like short stories to read this winter, this is kind of up there with Hunted and Holly. But I can't say this enough. Please check the triggers. Okay, and next I have the last fantasy romance that I have on this list. And this is Snowed In with a Demon. And this is by L.E. Eldridge. I think this book might be their first published work. I thought it was a fun time. Like, it's not an all-time favorite for sure, but it did hit like the snowed in vibes and it was really cute. We have this demon who's kind of stuck attached to this property, and this property is used as like a hotel, but there's all of these stories about how the property is haunted. So a lot of like ghost hunters like to come visit, and like journalists and things like that. Our heroine I think she manages the hotel. If not, she works there for sure. She ends up meeting this demon who has become obsessed with her while she's worked there. And this takes place over December, like up to Christmas, I think, because I remember like her parents really wanted her to come home for Christmas and she wasn't sure she would. And then there was a huge snowstorm, and so they all got snowed in. There's this really like rude group of YouTube ghost hunters that are just making her life really difficult there. She meets this demon and the demon is obsessed with her, and it becomes very spicy very quickly for such a short book. There was a lot of more spice than I thought there would be for a cozy book. It was really fun and a good time. I thought it was really good for especially a first book. I do want to read more from this author, and I highly recommend it for like a snowed in trope too. The only reason I didn't include it on the winter romance list that I'll be coming out with later on this week is because it does take place leading up to Christmas, and I think there is a scene during Christmas on it too. So because of that, I did want to have it on this one instead of the winter romance list, but I'll have more if you're just looking for snowed in romances that are just wintry and snowed in. I'll have those more on the other list that I'll be coming out with later on this week. Finally, I have the only contemporary romance on this list, and that is A Merry Little Meet Cute. This is by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. I have the other 2 books from the series out from the library and I need to get to them, but it's hard to get me to pick up contemporary romance sometimes, even if I know I've loved previous books in the series, so I'm just like that. But this one is really fun. This is like the only contemporary, one of the very few contemporary romances I really enjoyed. So our heroine, she works basically for what is OnlyFans. It's just called something different in the book. And she works for this company too that's like, she does porn, and but she wants to like get into like a career as an actress. And then our hero used to be in a boy band, and he really wants to make more of himself. He also has to support his family. His mother is sick. And so he's kind of made a few poor decisions that have like affected his career negatively. The moral of the story is the 2 get cast as the love interests in this like Hallmark style Christmas movie. It's really cute because the heroine doesn't know that the hero is a huge fan of her, and like he's like one of her biggest like supporters on this like OnlyFans. And he doesn't know that she is obsessed with that boy band, like, and has like posters of them and like he was her biggest crush in the boy band. Like she's obsessed with him. So the two are basically unknowingly obsessed with each other and have been each other's biggest fans for a super long time, and then they're forced to meet and like work together. So obviously a romance ensues from there. It starts out with just spice and fun times and becomes a romance from there. It's really cute, really spicy, really fun. I loved it. I think it was a new, fun, more edgy take on a contemporary rom-com for Christmas. I highly recommend if you're ready for some super spicy, more edgy and modern rom-com Christmas times. I highly recommend. Okay guys, there you have it. I hope you guys like these holiday romance recommendations. I'm gonna go now before I lose my voice. We've been getting over these colds and it's taking forever, but I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to click the like button and comment down below. Let me know your recommendations for a holiday romance. Until next time, fellow readers, keep reading and living your best life.
Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.